what have you seen for yourself? Like, what did having a coach do
Hmm.
for you? And what about that led you to go into the coaching field, because you know that this really has an impact on people if they would actually take advantage of it?
Yeah, if you asked me that question, beginning of the year, I wouldn't have a lot of things to give you, but I got wonderful analogies now that I can use, and it's actually quite beautiful. And I think that so there was a study that was done in the 30s, I believe, where they were
Mm,
studying the efficiency of creatures of natural creatures, so like
mm,
birds or whatever, of energy spent and distance traveled. And so number one was the condor, the big bird. So it can glide for hours on end. It'll flap its wings like maybe 3 or 4 times an hour or something like that. So it's really efficient. That was number one. Like a third of the way down was men, like humans. And we
mm,
were like next to like salmon and like bees.
mm.
And so they like tested something else. They're like, okay, well, what happens if we put a person on a bike, and the person on the bike flew away with it? Like just blew the competition out of the water. And so when we think about coaching, or even let's just use Michael Jordan. I literally just spoke about this on my podcast yesterday. Is Michael Jordan, if we were to separate his trajectories from Michael Jordan with a coach, Michael Jordan without a coach, who's going to be more legendary?
Mm.
Let's be real, right? Let's just say, the coach is his job is not to tell him how to play the game. It's to sharpen those edges that he has, right? Tell him,
Mm.
hey, like Jordan, I noticed that you go for the dunk and then you just kind of like loaf around under the net. Like you're not being defensive or whatever. That little slight improvement will improve him as a player, right? So the trajectory of
Mhm.
Michael Jordan with a coach is going to be exponentially higher. And so without
Mm.
a coach, and I've noticed this even in myself, whenever I get a coach, man, like it's like I'm no longer having a conversation with myself and I can't go deep with myself. I'll have other things flood in and I won't be focused on what it is that I should be answering. What is that question? Whereas a
Right.
coach is really there to be like, ooh, let's pull on that a little bit. And we'll
Mm.
go really deep. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. And actually, it's a natural process for me now because once I sit down, it's like they ask me a question, I just keep going. I just keep going. I'm staying focused because I'm engaging in a conversation.
Mhm.
Keep going. And I'm just like drawing out so much stuff within myself. And that's really what a coaching process is about, is it's to draw out everything that you have within yourself. And I'm just there to deepen your understanding. I'm asking
Wow.
open-ended questions for you to continue to deepen that. So that's why whenever we're talking about, life purpose, what's that gift that God has within you? I am like trying to shine a light in there. It's like, hey, you said this way. Why did you say it that way? And then just pulling on threads. Oh, I see this thread. Well, that's interesting. Let's pull on this. And then, that's really the process. And why I love coaching so much is it's so many people have the misconception that, oh, it's just giving advice. It's not
Mhm.
giving advice. It's really just me holding a space for you, facilitating a deeper insight, deeper revelation for you to understand your situation and yourself better, to understand where it is you want to go. And
Right.
because you've identified what you want to do and where you want to go, you are coming up with the next step, and I'm holding you to the next step. That's really the whole process.
Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.